Hi, my name is Haley. My group mates River, Tommy, Anna, and Brittany. We did a design of an ephemeral stream trap that we created in order to remove plastic from the environment. So a little bit of an intro, Parley for the Oceans is trying to mitigate the problem of plastic pollution. And one of the locations that they're helping at is in South Africa, which lacks the necessary waste management infrastructure in many parts of the country. So waste often ends up in the rivers. The Litter Boom Project is helping to get waste out of the rivers with their litter booms, and our group wants to help keep these litter booms from becoming overburdened with too much trash and keep waste from getting into even larger flowing water bodies. So we came up with our design by meeting with Connor Kiesling, who is a master's student at UGA, to better understand the floating trash trap that he has and to get ideas for our project. So while there, Connor discussed how a lot of smaller items and non-floatables are not being caught by his trap. And while there, we also noticed that a small stream had popped up because of the rain. We decided that we wanted to use these types of streams, which are called ephemeral streams, to help us collect waste. Following this, we came up with the idea for the ephemeral stream trap. And here are a few pictures of us helping out Connor at his trap. And now Brittany's going to explain some of the other types of traps along rivers.
The first trap is the interceptor, and this is a large unit that uses solar power and a conveyor belt to collect debris, and it distributes trash between dumpsters and signals when full to be collected. The second one is the bubble barrier, which uses a compressor to blow air through a perforated pipe at the bottom to guide trash into the collector. There's a curtain that spans across the entire width and depth of the river, and it does not affect fish or boats. The third one is the floating trash boom, and this one spans across a large area, and it's very cost effective and uses minimal materials. Lastly, the band-along litter boom uses two diagonal booms that guide trash into an aluminum collection cage, and it relies entirely on the flow of the river, and it's cost effective.
So we developed a decision matrix to help us analyze the devices we just mentioned and compare them to our design. And the main points that we found were that all the devices we looked at were limited to only surface level pollution due to the need to maintain a path of flow for aquatic life. They were also limited to only large pieces of plastic due to having to have large enough pore sizes for aquatic life to pass through. They were all extremely costly, ranging anywhere from $50,000 to $770,000. Our device works along channels that occur during rain events, catching the majority of pollution that comes in contact with its cross section. And our device also does not pose nearly as much of a threat towards wildlife, as there's not a lot of wildlife that exists along these channels. So we had to come up with a spot to test our prototype, and we looked at four main criteria to identify this location. One, we needed an area that would produce channelized flow during a storm event. Two, we needed a channel that led directly towards a perennial water source. Three, we needed somewhere that had high pollution density. And four, we needed a spot that was easily accessible and easy for construction. After doing some surveying, we found a stormwater conveyance channel off of Riverbend Road to be the best location. The channel was dry, it had indications of pollution runoff, and it was located on UGA property. It had good soil conditions for the construction of the device, and it eventually transitioned into an intermittent stream that led directly to the Oconee River.
So once we had our location, we went to work implementing our design in the channel. So first we needed to gather our materials, and this included two posts, approximately 6 feet of welded wire, which resembles chicken wire, tie wire, wire cutters, a post driver, and gloves for safety. Posts were driven into the ground at approximately 2.5 feet could be seen above the ground. We dug a U shape between the posts in order to entrench the wiring, and we did a U-shape in order to provide more volume for storage. And we entrenched the wire around 4 to 6 inches. We wrapped the wire around each of the posts once and then used high wire to cinch it down, twisting it around the post. And then the entrenched wire was filled tightly with dirt and covered with stones for extra protection. So we also created AutoCAD detail drawings of our design. On the left, we have the front view here, and these just show all of our exact measurements. And we priced out our design for 3 different traps, just because the different materials came in bulk. And those totaled out to around $35.18. And the unit price of those was only $11.73. So here we have our trap in use. This is during a rain events in the Athens area. On the left here, we have the trap becoming clogged with organic material that ran through the channel, and the water's running around the sides of it. And then on the right here, we have that clog being cleared and the trap functioning correctly.
As seen on this slide, the trash we collected include film, plastic, and microplastic materials, aluminum cans, paper, styrofoam, and glass. These items were later recycled and disposed of accordingly. Our testing revealed improvements that are needed to be incorporated in future designs. The first being incorporation of multiple trash traps descending down the stream with pore size decreasing respectively. With the largest pore size trap being placed furthest from the mainstream, collecting big items and allowing organic material to pass through as to not clog the trap. The last trap, having the smallest pores, will be able to collect small items that pass through the others. As for location, if the trash traps are placed too far upstream, this could allow trash to enter from perpendicular runoff points past the placement of the trash traps. In order to collect as much trash as possible, the traps need to be placed very close to the entrance into the river. When accounting for the width of the trap, our trap was slightly too narrow within the stream and allowed water to flow around it. For maximum contact with flowing material, the trap needs to cover as much width as possible. This will decrease the possibility of water to be able to flow around the trap and allow water to enter the major water source. An extensive survey of rainfall data in an area is crucial to the success of the trash traps. Too little rain will not allow water to freely flow, and too much rain could cause the trap to easily get clogged with organic material, as ours did. Thus, a more thorough survey of the geographic location and average rainfall will be needed before the final placement of the trap.
Thank you for your time and listening to us. Please feel free to reach out to us at the contact information provided below.